Good morning. This meeting of the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners is called to order. Please join us and rise for the invocation by Todd Luce from Grandview Christian Church, followed by our Pledge of Allegiance. Todd, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Would you bow with me, please? Gracious Heavenly Father, we come upon you today to ask a blessing upon this meeting and the time that the commissioners will have together as they work out your business, Lord. We also want to thank you in this time of Thanksgiving and coming up, Lord, for those veterans who have served that we will honor tomorrow, Lord. We also pray that those who are active duty and those will be kept safe. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to be here, and we pray that the business and all the workings of today's meeting will glorify you. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Todd.
Thanks, Doug.
Roll call.
Commissioner Grant.
Here.
Commissioner Bell.
Present.
Commissioner McFall.
Present.
County Attorney Bellis.
Present.
County Administrator Carochi.
Present.
Planning and Zoning Director Victoria.
Present.
Approval of the agenda.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Mr. Chair, we do have one change we need to make this morning.
Okay.
We need to remove the approval of minutes from October 28th of 2025 from the consent agenda, item number 1. Renumber then items 2 through 7 to become items 1 through 6. We did not receive those minutes in time to be able to review those. So with that, I move to approve today's agenda.
Okay. Easy enough.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And for our consent agenda.
Well, with that removed, we have a new consent agenda. I move to approve.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. With that removed, we do just have the normal approval of bills and several chairman's signature ratifications for airport matters. And with that, the roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We'll move on to our, and by the way, on that consent agenda, we also were not scheduling any public hearings. Make note of that. The administrative informational portion of our meeting, we begin with our staff and elected officials, and we first turn to our county administrator for his report.
Good morning,
Carochi.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning, everyone. So just a couple quick things this morning. We'll talk about the job opportunities that we have posted for the county. In our Department of Transportation department, we have a supervisor position that closes November the 20th, 2025. In our Fremont County Sheriff's Office, we have a patrol deputy position posted and detention deputy posted, and they close 11/27/25. And in our Facilities Department, we have a custodial position that closes November the 20th. For more information about employment opportunities with Fremont County, please visit our county website at fremontcountyco.gov, or you can call our HR department at 719-276-7409. Just a continued reminder that Fremont County Department of Transportation has closed Phantom Canyon Road beginning October the 27th and running through December the 27th, 2025 to redeck and repair 2 bridges. During this time, no one will be allowed to pass through, including any tours or bicyclists, as there will be no deck to carry the traffic. We will have signage, and do have signage, posted indicating closure as well as last turn. And that's all I have this morning, Mr. Chair.
So don't drive on a bridge that doesn't have any decking.
That's a good takeaway.
Got it. Good advice here this morning,
Words to live by, sir.
literally,
You won't do it in the same vehicle more than once.
or any vehicle more than once.
Probably not.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Mr. Carochi. Elected officials. Mr. Clerk, do you have anything for us?
Absolutely, I do. Thank you, Mr. Chair. First and foremost, mainly for Commissioner Bell and myself, they're closing East Main between Rhodes and South Reynolds.
It's already closed.
It's closed. They're moving, Atmos Energy is moving some of the gas lines. So if you're traveling right there beside that, that gas station, the dry cleaners, or the railroad, don't go there. Scary thoughts. Other than that, I do have some election information for you guys, of which, let's see here, 43.75% turnout this election. It's the lowest turnout since I've been in office since 2019, so just so everybody knows, right? Hint, hint, vote more next election in June. Of that, we had 14,506 people that voted this time around. 241 people voted in person, which is 1.66%. The rest returned their envelopes to us, whether by Dropbox, in person, or by mail, and it was at 98.34%. We'll finish counting this week on the 14th. We do have to wait for UOCAVA ballots. Those are the uniform and overseas citizens that are getting their ballots back. They have 8 days until after the election closes to get their ballots back to us. We also are waiting for a few signature cures that were rejected during the initial curing process. And then we have some ballots that were pulled to maintain that those UOCAVA voters and those signature cures are, their votes are secret. So we did pull a few ballots out of the normal stream to make sure that that happens. After this week, next week, we'll start our audit on the election, and then we should be able to certify results by next week, or barring any recounts that we're mandated to, but definitely before Thanksgiving. So I just thought I'd give everybody a heads up. This election is pretty much closed out, just a lot of administrative stuff to take care of. And then we'll just start next year's election in December. So there we go.
Okay.
That's what I got.
The fun never ends.
I don't
That's
know.
what I got out of that.
What's the time frame on the UOCAVA and the curing?
So we'll finish counting on the 14th. That's this Thursday. We do have to wait 8 days after election day per federal laws to allow the UOCAVA voters to get their stuff in. It has to be postmarked before election day and then get here before that 8-day mark. So that's the same reason why we give signature cures the option to have that 8-day mark, because we can't count the UOCAVA votes either. We have to wait for those. So
And I
this week
believe-
on Thursday.
And there is at least one particular race here in the county that a lot of
You guys
these
keep
matter.
coming around.
Yes, absolutely. We did have one race that initially was one vote off, which is within our mandatory recount. That is the Deer Mountain Fire Protection District tax question. After counting the property owner ballots, that went to a 13 votes off instead, against, and that's outside our mandatory recount threshold. But we're still watching. There aren't enough ballots to bring it within the 0.5% automatic recount. However, if they decide they want us to recount, they are more than welcome to contact my office and pay the necessary fees to do that kind of a recount. So,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
You said that moved to it was at a 1-vote margin for, now it's at a 13-vote margin again.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, well, to be continued.
To be continued.
Well, welcome.
You guys fill the chairs that are open if you'd like.
We have floor seating available.
You stand over here. Yeah.
We'll get everyone in. We did it last year. We can do it again.
Okay. Yeah, just get comfortable anywhere. Seriously though, if you want to sit on the floor out here in front of the rail, please do so. All right. Well, let's continue on with our updates. Commissioners, either of you?
I just got a couple quick little things, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
One, yes, tomorrow is Veterans Day. However, want to honor veterans every day for their sacrifices that they have put in their lives and their families. So bless the ones that are here today that we're going to talk about here in a little bit, but those that are still serving and active and overseas and protecting what we call freedom. Appreciate that. And I can't go without saying fire danger is high, Mr. Chair. The fuels are very dry, very, very dry. Keep getting these warm, dry winds and no moisture, so be very careful and diligent out there and don't start a fire.
We always like to tease our colleague, but it's kind of serious. We haven't really had any moisture in
Knock on something.
quite a while.
We haven't had a fire. Yeah,
And
it's dry.
so please be careful, please. Commissioner, anything?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. We have a really exciting meeting today, so I'm going to be brief with my remarks. Just would like to let folks know I will be out of the office next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, attending a National Association of Counties Rural Action Caucus fly-in in Washington, D.C. So this is going to be really quick, one day in, one full day there, and the next day back out. But in that short amount of time, I will be able to attend rural policy briefings with a lot of different folks, a working lunch, working dinner. We will have congressional meetings with Congress on Capitol Hill, a rural stakeholder reception, and we also will make time to meet with the USDA Rural Development. And so it's going to be a really, really busy 3 days, and I trust that my fellow commissioners can handle things while I'm gone.
I think we're just going to have to shut down the building.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I need to get a picture of this.
I know, it's very cool.
Smile.
Big smiles.
Oh, he didn't smile, did he?
Hey,
I don't know which one it was, but
one ice in his shoulder. As for me, just really briefly, we're going to be, one of the items on our agenda today, we're going to be getting our overview of our 2026 county budget. At the same time, every other county, every other city is going through the same process, putting together their budgets, and that includes the state as well. They are in the middle of beginning that process for the 26-27 fiscal year. They run on a little bit different calendar for them. But this is the time of year where the governor gives his budget request to the Joint Budget Committee. And if those that have been paying attention for the last year or so remember there was this budget crisis of sorts that they were claiming a $1.2 billion deficit. I've mentioned it more than a couple times. That's talking in government math, a $1.2 billion deficit. In other words, $1.2 billion that they expected to have in revenue but didn't. The budget still went up nearly $4 billion in the state, from about $40.5 to $44 billion last year. So the claims of a shortfall are greatly exaggerated. Well, guess what? They are singing the same song, and the governor just requested a $50.7 billion budget, including $18.2 billion from the general fund, which is an increase of $2.7 billion just from the general fund. And so when the song starts being sung about how woeful it is and how little money the state has, I will shed all my crocodile tears for them. They have plenty of money, and they are fully capable of funding this state without the theatrics that they typically come with. No doubt, I'm sure next fall we'll be talking about another special session of some sort so that they can balance their budget, which they will blame on the federal government for unbalancing, which is pretty typical for them. Anyway, my frustrations aside, we will keep a watch upon our state government as well as our federal government, as those theatrics are a different kind of theatrics at this point. Meanwhile, we still deal in our budgeting with common sense and calmness. So, that being said, any other updates or reports from anybody up here? Seeing none, move on to our next item on our agenda, which is citizens who wish to address the commissioners on a matter not scheduled on the agenda. We have scheduled 10 minutes per person in here, so we will be here till about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. No, just kidding. Is there anyone here? This is time for citizens to speak if they need to address something to us, if it's not already on the agenda. Seeing none, we will move on. We do have a matter of old business to take care of. It is the minor subdivision, 25-001, Sinclair Minor Subdivision. And this is a request for the approval for a minor subdivision that will create a total of 2 lots. This is located at 350 Sangre de Cristo Drive in Coaldale. And with us, Attorney Gwendolyn Allen. So we actually had tabled this to old business for today. There you go. And to get a couple things taken care of. And go ahead. Give us a report.
So as we ran through in more detail at the last meeting, this minor subdivision application would create 1 additional lot. The owners have requested that the commissioners approve a waiver of the public road requirements of the subdivision regulations. We had walked through the existence of a private roadway and easement that runs across 2 properties to the north of the property we're seeking to subdivide. At the last meeting, it was suggested that support from the owners of those 2 lots to the north that would be affected by that roadway should be, their approval should be sought, and letters of approval have been obtained and provided to the commissioners.
Okay, thank you. Any report from you, Mr. Victoria?
Pretty short. I received an email from both owners, the owner of Lot 19 and the owner of Lot 20, with a letter of support. So that's what we're seeking.
Okay. Any questions, commissioners?
No questions.
Motions?
I have a question for Mr. Victoria. Can you just again go over the contingencies and waivers?
Yes, please. So if this board chooses to recommend approval, for a contingency, we're seeking compliance with the Department of Water Resources letter dated March 5th, 2025. For conditions, plat note about a drainage plan required at the time of development for Lot 1, recording a declaration of easement for the 60-foot access way located on Lot 2, driveway access permit at time of development, and a soils report it will be required with the OWTS system being permitted. And that would be approval of waivers 1, subdivision regs IB4, fronted on public street. 2, subdivision regs IB8, access to a public dedicated street. 3, subdivision regs IB9, sidelines of lots at right angles to a street. And 4, subdivision regs IC, access standards. So we have 4 waivers that would need approval. We have 4 conditions, and for a contingency, the compliance with the Department of Water Resource letter.
So you didn't have a waiver for the topographical and soil information?
Nope, that'll be that'll just be a
That's a
condition.
condition?
Condition.
Yes.
And then the drainage plan?
Yep, plat note. So,
Condition A, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Who wants to give this one a go?
I will give it a shot.
Okay.
First of all, I would like to say, Ms. Allen, thank you so much for doing what we had asked of you. I'm much more comfortable with this now than I was 2 weeks ago. So before I make a motion, Mr. Chair, I would just like to state, this one seems to have a lot more contingencies, conditions, and waivers than most of the things that we see. But I feel like this is a very unique piece of land. And so we've all looked at it on our own. We've looked at it, had the conversation here a couple of weeks ago, and I feel that what is being permitted today is a good choice for that piece of land. So with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve MS 25-001, the Sinclair Minor Subdivision, for a total of 2 lots at 350 Sangre de Cristo Drive in Coaldale. This motion does include the contingencies as listed. Item A, the Division of Water Resource Letter dated March 5th, 2025, and the 3 issues that are listed there. The conditions being a plat note that a drainage plan and report will be required at the time of development of Lot 1. Condition B, record a declaration of easement for a 60-foot access way located on Lot 2. Condition C, a driveway access permit required at time of development. And Condition D, topographic and soils information required at the time of the OWTS, as well as approved waivers of Fremont County subdivision regulations 1.B.4, front on public street, 1.B.8, access to a public dedicated street, 1.B.9, sidelines of lots at right angles to the street, as well as 1.C, access standards.
Second.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
No,
It'll be in the minutes.
I believe we have it recorded.
It has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On to new business. We will begin with this crowd that has arrived all the way from Florence, Colorado. I bet there's some Penrose folks in here too, huh?
Bet you there are.
Yes. So we begin our new business with at least the second year in a row where we've had the proclamation, but this is a very special day. A proclamation designating November 10, 2025 as Howling Husky Pride Day throughout Fremont County in recognition of the Florence High School three-peat, say it again, three-peat state championship. And so that is who we have for all of our other guests here today. That is who is surrounding you. You are surrounded by the Howling Huskies. And so we have a proclamation that Commissioner Bell is going to read for us today.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for allowing me to read this proclamation today because I also once was a Husky, as was Mr. Carochi. We both are graduates of Florence High School. And so you guys just make me so proud, everything that you do. And to be able to sit here today and say you're not only a repeat state champion, but you're a three-peat state champion is incredible. And so truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you to each and every one of you. So let's get to the bones because we have a lot to read here. This is the Howling Husky Pride Marching Band Proclamation. Whereas the Florence High School Howling Husky Pride Marching Band recently defended their title and again took first place at the Colorado Bandmasters Association State Championships. And whereas the repeat champion band has been named state champions 3 times in school history, in 2023, 2024, and now again in 2025. And whereas all of Fremont County has deep respect for the hard work, long hours, dedication, and talent displayed all season by the Howling Husky Pride members. And whereas the Howling Huskies set a Colorado Bandmasters Association Class 1A state record with the highest score ever for a Class 1A band. And whereas the Florence Band Boosters supported the Howling Huskies by providing food and all forms of assistance at every event throughout 2025. And whereas Howling Husky Pride parents share in the success of their students by hauling trailers, building and moving props, sewing, fitting, and washing band uniforms, feeding band members, and driving them to every practice and event, and otherwise giving of their time, talents, and treasure. And whereas community sponsors generously supported the band and its endeavors throughout this 3rd championship season. And whereas the RE2 district administration, staff, students, and especially the marching band staff and transportation department all supported the Howling Husky Pride throughout the year. And whereas the entire Fremont County community cheered the Howling Husky Pride on to its many successes in 2025. Now, therefore, let it be proclaimed by the County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado, that in observance of the 2025 Colorado Bandmasters Association State Champion Howling Husky Pride Marching Band, November 10th, 2025, is officially proclaimed as Howling Husky Pride Day throughout Fremont County. The Fremont County Commissioners ask the entire community to proudly join in giving special honor and recognition to these dedicated students. With that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve this Howling Husky Pride Marching Band proclamation.
I will second that.
Excellent. Me too.
Third.
All right.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
guys. It's awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic. We do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
First of all, congratulations to all of you. It's a lot of hard work, I know. You guys put in a lot of time. But also congratulations to your parents because they probably drug you around and took you around and made sure you made it to where you're supposed to be, and the staff and the school district for the support that they've given you. But congratulations to you and keep it up.
Is our band director here? Come on up, sir. We want to talk with you. Please introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Justin Nelson. I am the band director at Florence High School. This is my 8th year there, but my 10th year teaching music here in Fremont County.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Congratulations to you as
Thank
well,
you.
sir.
Appreciate it. Thank
You've
you guys.
clearly done an incredible job with these
I
kids.
appreciate it. It's a great group of kids.
It takes a
So,
lot of talent, but I also know it takes a lot of time, it takes dedication, it takes a lot of great leadership. And I would suggest that you have all of those with this group.
Oh, yeah, the kids are really incredible and they work really hard. So thank you guys so much for recognizing us today. We really appreciate it.
Our
Yes,
pleasure.
congratulations to
Yes.
you and to all the kids. And Mr. Clerk, did you have anything to add?
I did, as a former marching band kid myself, and being part of the 4A for Canyon City for multiple years. First place is an amazing feat, considering all the bands that are out there. So congratulations to all of you, and keep up the good work.
And stacking it on top of each other twice for a three-peat is triply incredible. So, and as a former band parent, for all the band parents, thank you. I remember those days. It's a commitment, not just for the band members, but to the parents, and volunteering and making sure things are done and set up and all those good things. So thank you again, and we still have a motion on the table.
Indeed we do.
And what do we want to do after this? Do we want to get a picture?
We do.
All right.
We did-
I
we
don't
managed
think we're
last
going to
year.
have room up here. How did we do it last year? Didn't we?
We
Kind of
just
went down in
came over
front.
here.
and
Yeah.
Okay,
And our photographer can come right up here.
there we go. Okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Let's give them a hand. So let's, all the Howland Huskies, I want you to stand where you're at. And we're going to come down there for a picture.
That same guy's not smiling.
Kind of expected Mahoney to sneak out with him.
I figured he would.
It's like, what? What?
I said I kind of expected Mahoney to sneak out with him.
Oh, thanks, Sammy. I kind of forgot.
Thank you, Sam.
Forgot about that.
Yes, perfect.
Just leave with the crowd.
Well, we have 2 minutes before public hearings.
We don't need to. We're probably just going to get through
Is-
the proclamations.
Yeah,
Might as well.
you just might make that announcement.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was exciting.
So,
I
Mr.
love
Chair,
that.
could I just add really quickly?
Please.
That's probably the most well-behaved group of high school kids I have ever seen. They filed in silently. You didn't even know that they were here. I don't think anyone listening to today's service could have even heard them. They were a great group of kids. So truly, congratulations to not only them, but their teachers, their parents, their administration. Great group. Great.
Fantastic, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's always good to have them, and especially under such circumstances. So we do have a couple other proclamations that I think we kind of want to roll through. We'll probably go ahead and go through new business. Or actually, no, we need to go through the crash responder, and then we need to get to our,
Yes,
we do need to get to our public hearings.
let's do that.
Okay, so we will go ahead and do our Crash Responders Safety Week proclamation. And Commissioner McFall.
Our emergency manager, Michael Kroll's here too. Michael, would you like to come up?
Oh, there he is.
He snuck in the back room while
I
the kids
saw
were
that.
all there. and snuck back out.
I was looking for you, I didn't see you.
It's
Good
pretty
morning.
hard, it's pretty hard to miss me, but
Well, clearly not.
yeah, I guess so. I'll take that any day.
Well, do you want to read it for us, or Mr. McFall? Either or?
First, could you maybe explain what we're doing this
Yeah,
morning?
that'd be good.
So I was asked by the state of Colorado, CDOT, and Colorado State Patrol primarily, to put this out to you guys and see if you guys would support Crash Responder Safety Week. Every year, there are more and more fire law, EMS, CDOT workers, tow operators getting hit, killed, or injured on our roadways. People are in such a hurry, they don't pay attention, road conditions, what have you. I actually have a wreck right now at 9th and Main. We're all out there and we're trying to keep people safe. We're rescuing people, keeping the traveling, bless you, keeping the traveling public safe. And this is a good week that, hey, road conditions are going to be getting worse. We're coming into winter. We know how people drive the first couple snows of winter. It's not fun and pretty. So glad to see that you guys are in support of traffic responders and our safety and getting the word out to the folks in our communities.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. I can read this proclamation. It's a new one to us, and we weren't quite sure where it came from, so appreciate that explanation. I'll start it off. It's a proclamation for Crash Responders Safety Week, November 17th through 21st, 2025. Whereas our health, safety, and well-being are often dependent on the commitment of first responders, including law enforcement officers, firefighters, emergency medical personnel, safety service, patrol operators, Department of Transportation and Public Works crews, tow operators who respond to traffic incidents and conduct valuable and often life-saving operations on the roadside. And whereas these on-scene personnel provide critical public service and are called to duty to all hours of the day and night in adverse conditions and dangerous roadside environments. And whereas many traffic incident management responders are seriously injured or lose their lives each year while performing their duties as a result of being struck by speeding, impaired, drowsy, or distracted motorists, and motorists who are not aware of slow down, move over law. And whereas responders and response vehicles strikes also result in life-altering injuries or death, involvement of motorists and passengers, and placement of upstream road users and greater risk of a crash. And whereas the state of Colorado has slow down, move over law and is committed to protecting the traffic incident management responders who are at the scene of the roadway crashes. And whereas the state of Colorado has a driver removal law which aims to move vehicles out of the lane travels after minor traffic incidents, man, I sure can't read it word for word, so just bear with me, incident to improving roadside user and responder safety. And whereas the Fremont County has a responsibility to take all necessary precautions to reduce risk to responders and all roadside users, and all responders, drivers, and passengers have a role in keeping our roadways safe. And whereas the week of November 17th through the 21st, 2025 is set aside to recognize our crash responders and focus efforts on their safety. Now, therefore, let it be proclaimed by the Commissioners of Fremont County that November 17th through the 21st, 2025 is hereby designated as Crash Responder Safety Week. Signed this 10th day of November 2025. With that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve this proclamation.
Excellent.
For Crash Responder Safety Week.
I second that, just with the note that I also believe no one should have to risk their lives just to show up to do their job when that job is helping other people. So thanks for bringing this forward to us.
I ditto all that. We certainly appreciate the work that these folks do, and sometimes take it for granted as we're driving down the road and we see the flashing lights and what those folks had to do and what they are having to do at that moment in what is sometimes the worst possible moment in somebody's life. and dealing with that and helping people. So we thank all of our folks that do that job. So thank you for bringing this, Michael. Appreciate it. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that.
Thank you much.
What are we going to do with that? Michael, do you want this proclamation?
Please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. It being 9:35, it is past time to go to our public hearings. We do have two on the schedule this morning, and I will go ahead and open the public hearing. And our UCOG, our Upper Arkansas Area, no,
Yes. Yep.
Upper Arkansas Area Agency, Council of Governments. I sound like Dwayne reading a
I'll tell you,
proclamation.
I could say that one.
Do you want me to talk for you?
Please. You know what I meant. You guys know what I meant. Come on up. We have a report. This is talking about the closeout of the single-family owner-occupied rehabilitation grant. And with us are the representatives from UCOG, Michael Lloyd and Jackie Wolf. So please go ahead and give us an update on what you got.
So this grant was one that was started back in 2021, I believe. Grant number H1CDB 21004. It expired in 2022, but the state has never closed it out. So we got notified that we need to do public hearings so we can get it closed out in the books.
Okay. Any report, at least on, the effectiveness or, how the numbers and whatnot?
Yeah, actually we do. So we did 20 homes total with this grant, 17 homes in Fremont County, 2 homes in Custer, and 1 home in Park County. 10 disabled occupants, 14 elderly households received help with this grant.
Wow,
That's impressive.
fantastic. That's good news.
Congratulations for that work.
Yes, thank you. This is Jackie, anything to add?
Nope.
Okay. Any questions? Any questions?
I don't have a
Comments?
question, just a comment. Thanks for bringing this up to finish it up. It's been a kind of a rough couple of years here at the COG, and appreciate you guys straightening this up. And this is a public hearing where anybody has an opportunity to speak. However, there is no action taken by us. It's just a formality that we have to do for the state because this is a pass-through grant through us to the COG, and that's why we're here today.
Okay, yes, good reminder. This is a public hearing, so we would open it up for anybody that wishes to speak on this, obviously. Seeing none.
Don't
Commissioner?
run.
Yeah. Don't everybody rush up to the mic at once. Okay. Commissioner, anything to add?
Yeah, I would just say thank you for the work that you do. When you talk about 20 families, 20 homes, that's 20 families, 17 of those here in Fremont County. So you've made an incredible difference in the lives of 17 families, and I think that's work to be applauded. So thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you. The one that I applied for? So, yeah, I did apply for a new rehab loan. I am in the pros and cons stage, so I've got past the first 2. I asked for $900,000 over the next 2 years to do 15 to 20 homes a year. It's Proposition 1, 2, 3 funds, so those are the ones that hopefully we can get it so we can help even more people.
Okay, good to know. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right, that is all we have for that. I think I need to close that public hearing. And now we will go to our 2026 proposed Fremont County budget, and we will open this public hearing. And with us today is our head bean counter, Sean Sutton.
Morning, all. How are
Good
you?
morning, sir.
Yeah. Before I get started, I also wanted to thank all the veterans and recognize them tomorrow, the 11th. In addition to that, though, I don't know how many people know this, but today is the Marine's birthday. So
I knew that.
my dad is a former Marine, so wishing them a happy birthday and Semper Fi to all those Marines out there.
Fantastic, thank you.
So, and also before I get started on the draft budget, I just wanted to take a minute to thank everybody. So thank you, commissioners, for spending the time before this budget meeting came together. Obviously, we've had several meetings. County Administrator Carochi, thank you for your time in meeting with the different elected officials, all the department heads. With that said, the elected official department heads, without all of you and the expertise you have, obviously in your area, this process goes so much smoother because of your ability to look at numbers and describe kind of what's happened in the past and moving forward to the future. So thank you all. And then lastly, to the administration staff, couldn't have done it without you. Alicia, Sheris, Dana, Rachel, Jenna, and Kathy. Many late nights and days obviously spent on this, but thank you all as well. So with all those thank yous out of the way, we can get started on the 2026 draft budget. The first slide is for our strategies. So Fremont County, we want to provide quality services to Fremont County citizens. Number one, always most important in our strategy to provide this budget. Two is to provide a fiscally responsible budget for Fremont County through conservative revenue and fully expensing. I believe we do that and have accomplished that again this year. Preserve Fremont County assets between our buildings and vehicles, make sure that that happens again in 2026. And then maintain fund balances throughout all departments. I emphasize all departments because every department is a part of the county. So making sure that those fund balances continue to remain strong is an important strategy for us. Next is addressing increased requests and increased expenses throughout Fremont County. So we continue to see I guess, challenges based on inflation and other factors. So we take those into consideration. Obviously, they don't only affect the Fremont County citizens, but it affects local government and the employees here. Next is the overview of our revenues for 2026. So projecting an increase of 8.2% in assessed property valuation revenue from 2025 assessment due to increased property values. So we did receive the initial number from the assessor just a couple weeks ago. So we'll continue to go through the mill levy process, but that's what these numbers are based on, is the preliminary. Based on the preliminary numbers, property assessment county revenue would increase by $522,000 in the general fund, social services by $283,000, airport of $34,000, and road and bridge of $89,000. We are projecting sales tax to decline in 2025, or excuse me, from the 2025 final estimates by 9.3%. This is due to, I guess, projections of less tourism maybe coming into Fremont County, other economic factors, so, and also being just conservative on this side of things. So, next, in discussions with Clerk Grantham, we are also projecting a collection of the auto use sales tax from 2025 final estimates to decrease by 12.4%. This has to do with, you know, vehicle prices hopefully maybe coming down a little bit in 2026, but also the potential of people not purchasing as many vehicles. So thank you for your time on that again, Justin. Next are our expenses. So we are proposing new salary scale to increase entry-level pay for our staff, proposing annual step increases in accordance with the salary scale as well. So our step is a 2% step, which is in our policy, and then in addition to that, we are proposing an additional 2% for our staff this year. We think that keeps us competitive with other businesses here in Fremont County, as well as other local governments, different agencies. But not only that, but we've got other exciting news. We've proposed an additional day off this year in 2026. So that'll be an additional 10 hours that our staff can take advantage of. And then increasing our retirement from 4% to 5%. These are all meant to keep staff here and keep them happy and, again, remain competitive with other agencies in Fremont County. The next slide, or the next bullet point here, is increasing health insurance premiums. So this is something that I wouldn't say necessarily caught us. We were projecting an increase of about 15% in 2026. Those numbers actually came in, I guess preliminary numbers came in closer to 28% this year. But through a lot of negotiation and time that was taken by County Administrator Carochi and Alicia, they were actually able to negotiate this down to 21.9%. So thank you for all your time that you put into that. That was a big process, and again, made this budget process a little bit easier. So with that being said, the county does pick up the majority of that increase, to the tune of about 85% of the total, which then the other 21%, which makes up the smaller amount, our county staff or employees that take advantage of it will pick up about 15% of that. So again, I just think this benefit is something that is amazing that we continue to do and continue to offer for our staff, and I just hope that they really realize all the time and effort and the benefit that this has. So. Next, we are addressing building improvements that are needed in various Fremont County-owned buildings. So it's looking like a roof year. So a lot of roofs that we're having to, and when I say roof, not like a dog, like a roof. Roofs.
Thanks for clearing that up.
You bet, yeah. Roofs throughout Fremont County, just something that we're identifying in addition to some air handlers and boilers and painting, so just making sure that no deferred maintenance catches up with us on that. We are keeping up with increased operational costs. Again, not only our citizens are feeling that, but due to inflation and different costs, we're trying to keep up with that. We do want to build a reserve as matches for bridge replacement projects. DOT has been so busy this year in 2025, but that's not going to stop in 2026 with some anticipation of 2 or 3 bridge decks getting finished up again in 2026, some repainting and scaling of bridges. It just doesn't seem like it stops. So hopefully that project will come through with some grant funding here at the end of December. We're also looking at grant opportunities that can be used on various projects within Fremont County. I'll identify, I guess, the one that kind of pops to my head, I guess, is the Reynolds Bridge. We've been working on that one, expanding from city limits to the Reynolds Bridge for a safer passage in that little area, and then across the bridge itself to access those great trails that we have here in Fremont County. And then obviously we'll continue to monitor national and local factors as we go through the year and make any adjustments for the commissioners. Next slide is just an update on the American Rescue Act Plan. We call it ARPA. So again, Fremont County Commissioners elected to declare the full amount as lost revenue, and therefore the full award is eligible to be used for government services under the Treasurer's final rule. Fremont County received a total of $9,292,000, and as of today, we've spent $7,390,000. These dollars have been given or spread through special districts, grant programs, small businesses, churches, and nonprofits. So amazing work. We believe that we've been very fiscally responsible with these dollars. We do have 1.9 million, a little over 1.9 million still left, but these dollars have been allocated to and committed to different projects throughout Fremont County. So.
I would say, just to rephrase, it is not left. It is allocated so that somebody doesn't get the
Yes.
idea that we have some, because it is allocated and will be done before the end of the year, hopefully.
It will be done before the end of the year.
It has to be done, yeah.
Yeah, this will be the last year that we're talking about ARPA. As 2026, the dollars have to be spent, so. Next, just identifying some projects here. You can see the road and bridge picture down there. we'll highlight that down the road, but applying for grant funds for judicial building improvements. So these are the air handlers that we're talking about. I believe Commissioner Grantham will be up making that happen here in the next couple of weeks, so thank you for doing that. Is it this week? Okay, thank you. Sheriff Department upgrades, so we just have some boilers that we're looking at over there, some painting projects, in addition to the great work that I think happened this year with the redo of the master control and their basement area. So those really turned out very nice. Equipment and vehicle upgrades, so we want to make sure that our staff are safe. So we've put into place a replacement program as vehicles get old or older. We get those moved on and sold and replaced with something that we can depend on. So several areas are taking advantage of that piece. Reynolds Bridge engineering study I previously mentioned, so that will be done in 2026. Building updates and upgrades, as I mentioned, the roofs throughout Fremont County. Airport drainage project, so this is a big project that has been identified each of the last 2 years, so we're actually going to get this one completed and done in 2026. We believe the utilities will finally be moved and we'll be ready to rock and roll on that one.
I think it'd be safe to say that this is going back just a little farther than 2 years talking about this.
At least 15 years we've been
Oh.
discussing this issue.
Thank you.
We've had ongoing flooding issues with the buildings out there since, I'm pretty sure since the buildings were built. And so we've done a lot of smaller projects trying to divert the water out there, and they work until they don't. We get too much rain again, and everything washes away, and again, we have water in our buildings. And so we finally are going to take care of it and do it the right way. So I'm excited about that.
That issue may predate all three of us.
I think so.
Does.
Yeah,
So,
it's been around for a long time.
Certainly predates me. So.
But this is the first time we've ever had the discussion and been in the midst of actually doing the fix for
And
it.
had the
So,
funding
yes.
to do the fix. It's a massive project.
Big project. Thank you for the input, yep. And then last, just the road and bridge projects, as they've identified several bridges that are in need to repair, and we're going to make that happen again this year, in addition to keeping up with the grading of the roads and all the things, so. Mike's a busy guy. Property tax revenue is the next slide. So I always like to see a chart that is trending up a little bit incrementally, not drastic changes up and down, peaks and valleys. So you'll see 2019 is the first year that we have on this one. Total was $5.4 million in 2020 and 2021, about $6 million. Increased in 2022 to just under $7 million, I guess 2022, 2023, and 2024. Seen some increase final numbers in 2025 to 7.6 million. And then the budget for 2026 is $8,528,000. So this has to do with the preliminary numbers that we received from Stacy. And then was there any other input that we wanted to talk about on this?
Well, I think so, Sean. We look at our property tax revenues, and folks have seen them, their notice evaluations as they've come in the mail have drastically increased. Not everybody, but a good number of folks across the state, not just in Fremont County, but everywhere. And 2 years ago, we were able to, when that really first started happening, and this is not of course not mentioning this for your sake, but just a reminder for everybody else, you know
Yeah.
full well what I'm getting ready to say.
Uh-huh.
We were able to actually lower our mill here in Fremont County by a half a mil 2 years ago. I will note that we were the only taxing entity in Fremont County. Municipalities or special districts in the county, however many there are of that, Mr. Clerk, there's several dozen of those special
28?
districts that
28.
appear on tax bills throughout the county, 28 of them. we were the only one to lower our mills. We're doing it again this year. Trying to do what we can relief-wise for you on your property taxes. I am hopeful that other entities will follow suit and do that to give relief on the overall tax bills. Just to make note, our $0.5 decrease, your property tax bill, when you see that final number, whatever that dollar figure is that you owe on taxes, only about 10% of that goes to the county general fund. 10%. If your tax bill went from 1,000 to 1,500, the portion that was going to the county only went up from $100 to $150. That's all that comes to the county from your tax bill. So it's a small portion, but it is a portion that we have reduced taxes. And so, yes, I think the three of us, if I might speak for you guys, are bragging about it. So we are the only ones, and hopefully not the only ones by the end of the day. Please feel free to call your city council members and district folks and ask them for a reduction in your property taxes. And I will leave it at that.
Yeah.
Please.
And I appreciate that input. Thanks, Commissioner Grantham. I think it's a big deal too. So thank you for making that happen again this year in 2026. That's really all I have on that slide. So next will be, the retail sales tax collection. So as I previously mentioned, this will be a decline of about 9.2%. But kind of where we've gone and where we're going, right? So 2019, we sat at about $5.9 million. We hit a high at the end of 2024 of 9.6 million, or almost 9.7 million at the end of 2024. So we've seen the escalator on that, some additional revenue that we see here as far as sales tax that's driven. Primarily, I would suggest Fremont County citizens, but not only that, but tourism. So looking at year-end 2025 to decrease from 9.6 million to 9.4. And then in addition to that, again, 8.5 is being suggested for the 2026 year, just based on some economic factors and other things that we discussed during our budget meetings. Next is the auto use sales tax. Again, with Justin, we looked at a 12.4% decrease. This one has a little more peaks and valleys on it, so I'm going to take a little bit of time to kind of explain what was going on here. But overall, 2019, 2020, pretty consistent at that 1.15 million. Increased in 2021 to 1.5 million. We attribute that to extra dollars from the government that we received, in addition to prices pretty drastically increasing due to some shortages that were going on during that time. So at the time, that was kind of an outlier. $1.5 million we talked about for several years, that are we ever going to be able to kind of catch up to that? We did not ever budget that high. So 2022, we saw a little decrease, maybe a little bit more in line with our discussions. But then you see 2023 and 2024 that increased to 1.6 and then 1.7. If you listen to our normal monthly update, these had to do with a couple large businesses that sold within those years that we did not anticipate, nor did we budget for. So, additional revenue that we received in both of these years, but again, we did not budget for them. A little bit more normal. So year in 2025, we're looking at, again, $1,422,000. And then the budget for 2026, you're looking at $1,268,000. So no surprises here, not doom and gloom, just being conservative and making sure that we have good numbers there. Beginning fund balance. So we always talk about beginning and ending fund balance here at the county, making sure that we're in good shape. So you'll see the general fund here started at a little over, or right about $5 million in 2021. This increased due to what we just went over, right? Those sales tax, property values going up, so additional revenue collections there. Kind of had a high watermark of just over $12 million in 2024. Those dollars have kind of flattened out because we kind of hit those peaks, right? So we do expect those to roll off a little bit. So 2025 ending right at $12 million, and then 2026 about 11.4 million at the end. So overall in very good shape. General fund, the sheriff's department, you're looking at about a $3.7 million to start, had a high water mark of about 4.2 million. Then you've seen some runoff in the sheriff's department ending 2026 at about 2.3 million. So this just means that expenses are outweighing their revenue at this point. So we're obviously monitoring that. The sheriff is monitoring that and looking to see what we can do there. Road and Bridge, always appreciate them. They do a good job of matching their expenses to their revenue. So kind of started at 1.9 million and ending at about 2.1 million. So what Mike Witt and Annette do over there, sure appreciate them, and they are always mindful of their fund balance. And then lastly, Department of Social Services. So this started well before I started here with Kim and some other directors, but I don't know, maybe Tony. Tony there, yeah, good. So 1.9 million to start in 2021. Again, they've done a great job of obviously revenue out or outpacing their expenses. High point of about 3.9 million, and then in 2026 looks like a slight roll off, maybe to about $3.7 million. So these dollars are obviously very important. We look at them, we talk about them, and make sure that these dollars are kept there for the time of need. So general fund is the next tab. So again, general fund total revenues 19 through 2026 draft budget. 2019 year end was 13.2 million. That increased in 2020 to 16.6 million. Pretty flat over those couple years. Saw an increase to 18.5 million, again due to the sales tax and property tax collections. But not only that, I want to highlight also our treasurer's been able to do some investing, and I think some of those dollars you'll see in here as well. So thank her for getting with CSAFE and some of those other entities that allow us to safely invest these dollars. Year-end 2025, as projected, we're coming into $17,818,000. This is pretty well right on budget, slightly ahead of what we budgeted again in 2025. So good shape. And then year-end or projected for 2026 budget is $17,130,000. So summary of funds. So this is, you kind of read this top to bottom and then left to right. I'm not going to go over everybody's fund here, but you kind of have a beginning balance and then an ending balance with revenue and expenditures in between there. So total dollars, beginning fund balance of $32,446,000 with revenues projected at $59,277,000. Total available to the county then would be $91,723,000. I know these are big numbers. There's some more explanation coming. So, with expenses of $68,014,000 and then an ending fund balance of $23,708,000. So, That 23 million kind of represents about 4.5 months worth of fund balance there, and it's appropriate for the size of county that we are. So just wanted to make sure that I highlighted that. So a little bit different way to look at the revenues, pie charts, bean counters, as I think I was just called. Like to show them in a bunch of different ways. So this is the pie chart of how we collect the dollars, or projected collected of dollars. So the biggest draw or pool that we have revenue-wise is obviously the sales and use tax of 28%. Intergovernmental funds, so these are the grants that we receive and anticipated grants that we receive. Next up is kind of a split between the property tax and internal transfers. So I just want to talk a little bit about the internal transfers, what that means, right? So there's different funds that collect, I would say, the sales and use tax. We set aside dollars, and then we transfer those dollars internally from the sales and use tax to capital. Those capital projects are all then done, and expenditures for different roofing projects or whatever we choose to do within that year, expense-wise, but those are internal transfers. There's also several internal transfers from the general fund to the, one would be a sheriff department, county fair, the weed department. So those dollars don't necessarily leave the county, but we do have to anticipate those. So, and then use of reserves of 15%, and then kind of all those other small ones, just the sales and, the specific ownership tax, lodging tax, license and permits, charges for services, and then all other funds. So let's make up a small portion, but we do track those as well. I guess the other one that we sometimes mention is PILT. So PILT does offset some, that's payment in lieu of taxes. So I think that one was brought up as well. That is one of the funds that I'm a little bit surprised, but every time we talk about PILT, we used to really depend on that to balance our budget. And since I've been here, a lot of hard work before me, we don't necessarily have to use that to balance our budget. So that was great job from you all.
Well, I think the scary thing about that was we've got to worry every year whether we're going to get that PILT payment or not. So when we were dependent upon that and not knowing whether Congress was going to authorize it or not was even more frightening, because if they didn't, we were going to sink.
Right.
And so we did the best we could to not depend on that and use that for other projects, which we can do. So, and we're at that point, so it's been a lot of good hard work.
Yeah, thank you, Dwayne. Any other comments? Okay, perfect. And then pie chart for draft expenditures. So this kind of goes over the funds. So the next chart, 31% of the budget comes out of the general fund. So it makes up a lot of different areas as far as clerk and recorder, treasurer, a lot of here at the admin building specifically. Followed by the sheriff department at 21%. So makes up 52% between two funds. That's a pretty large deal there. Followed closely again by the Department of Social Services of 16%. They make up 16% of our total expenditures. Followed by road and bridge at 10%. All other funds at 19%. So that would be the waste fund, the lodging fund, just everything else is kind of combined in there because it doesn't make up a huge portion, but when you combine them all together, it comes up to 19%. Then a couple other small ones, Department of Health, 2%, Airport, 1%, and then the weed department of basically nothing.
0%.
Less than 1%. So it really does take that's why we go through this draft project. If you kind of see, we look at every department and really try to make the best decisions for the entirety. I don't know if there's any other comments, but next steps for the budget. So we'll start finalizing the budget. There'll be some small changes to it. I'll try to get revenue over the next 2 months, plugged into our final budget, which will be adopted December 16th, 2025, was when we also allocate monies, in addition to any additional expenses that we see come through. Typically, those are very small or minor changes between now and then. But those discussions will obviously be had with the commissioners prior to that happening. 2026 draft budget has been posted to the county website. This is at www.fremontcountyco.gov. So feel free to go out there and take a look at the budget itself. And if you don't have availability for that, you can also come in and there's a copy available here during our normal business hours at the administration building located at 615 Macon Avenue, room 101. With that, that's my draft budget presentation. Sorry, I was trying to get through it as quickly as possible. I think Eric says, for what it's worth, I do a pretty good job of getting through it. So, thank you, County Attorney.
All right.
Questions?
Well, thank you, Mr. Sutton.
Yes.
Any questions or comments for him?
I have a comment, please, Mr.
Yes.
Chair. So we ask a lot of our folks throughout the entire budget season.
We do.
Not only Sean as our finance officer, but of Alicia Stone as our HR director. We ask for different scenarios. What would happen if we did this? What would it look like if we did that? What about this? And you guys respond like instantaneously. I mean, run those numbers, do all of that magic that we don't do in our office. Run those numbers and bring back the answers to us and say, this is what it would look like if we did this, and this is what it would look like. And then it is up to us to make those final decisions. But the entire process that starts really at the lower levels, you know, our department heads gather all that information on their own. They get help from you and your office, and then it just kind of bubbles up and everything moves up, and then it eventually ends up where we are right now. This has been going on since, what, August?
Yes.
It's a very, very long process, and I just feel like I really would like to say this morning, thank you not only to you and Alicia, but to all of our department heads, all of our other elected officials. Everyone knows what the score is in Fremont County right now. We don't look bad. We actually look pretty darn good compared to some other similarly sized counties that are looking at having to decrease their budget by $5 million for next year. We're not in that position. I think we're not in that position because we are very conservative with our budgets, and I'm really happy about that. And so just a huge thank you to all of you. You make us all look good. So
Thanks for that.
yeah, I hope that you all know that.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think she was reading my notes. But yeah, thanks to you, the hours you guys put into it, all the staff, all the elected officials, other department heads. There's a lot that goes into it. And as she mentioned, there are counties that are cutting $3, $4, $5 million, cutting positions, people on furloughs, as well as municipalities. So I think we're blessed that we're able to still give a cost of living raise and bump our retirement, which is good for our employees. We're trying to do the best we can for them. The cost of materials and tools it just continues to go up. Our road and bridge department, you know, gravel is not cheap anymore like it used to be. No. Health insurance has went up. We diverted a 28% increase, got that lowered, thank goodness for the hard work from our HR staff, Alicia and whatnot. But that's going up all over the country too, just other things I'm hearing. Our sales tax returns, we've been talking about this for years. They just kept climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing, and we knew that the bottom was going to fall out at some point. And I don't think the bottom fell out, but it has started a downward trend. But we're still above 22, 23 levels, or right there about that. So we've conservatively budgeted for that, which is a good thing. We do have a lot of old buildings that need care, as you mentioned, the roofs, and in fact, this building, we're trying to figure out how to preserve the outside of this building. The rock on the outside is really dry, and we don't want it to start flaking off, so we're working on a plan to get that refurbished, you might say. But we have even older bridges in the county. We've got a bunch of really old bridges. Our road and bridge department's doing a great job of looking at those and prioritizing what we've got going. We have applied last Friday again for another grant to help with the cost for those bridges, but a lot of them, they are old, 60-plus years old, and they're falling apart. So to try to maintain safety for everyone that uses those bridges, wherever they may be, we need to stay up on that. And try to maintain the county services that we have available for our citizens of Fremont County. Costs keep going up, and we're still trying to maintain the same service we have. You notice that Road and Bridge gets 10% of the funding. That's not very much for the over 700 miles that they have to maintain and take care of, and it makes it tough. They do a heck of a job. We do get complaints about roads, and it's understandable, but I also have to understand that that funding is very limited as to what they have and what goes into that fund from the funds that come into the county, as well as the Sheriff's Department only have 21%. So there's a lot of expense that goes into those departments, and I'm trying to maintain those services. But again, thank you for what you've done and the staff, and appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sean, and your crew and all the work you do. Just reiterating what has been said. We will get a chance to do this again in December when we pass the budget in our special meeting. Can't remember that date off the top of my head. 16th. Well, there you go.
December 16th.
December 16th. And we will go through some of this again and maybe even repeat many of our comments. One of the comments I will be repeating then is we do budget conservatively and proudly. It brings a day like this where everybody else is singing the blues. We are watchful. You know, we're not overly optimistic or anything. We see the trend lines and how they're going down, and we budget accordingly. It doesn't, doing that means that in years like this and years to come, that we're not running around with our hair on fire like some of the other counties and cities are. We were talking about the fund balance slide showing some of our, decreasing fund balances. That's to be expected, given the revenues that we're seeing. It's also to be expected. Here's my other little jab at Denver.
I know what this is.
This is a jab at them and their unfunded mandates that they keep sending down to the counties and cities. It probably affects some of our departments a little bit more than others. It certainly affects some of our other elected officials more than others. I knew I was going to get an agreement down there. It affects our clerk and recorders and elections in particular. It affects most recently, our assessor's office and their requirements and what they have to do and the complexities involved with the new assessment system. But it really has come home to roost with our Sheriff's Department and our law enforcement. And the unfunded mandates and requirements put upon our law enforcement by this legislature and governor has been unprecedented in this state. It is driving many of these issues. Sheriff's Department, working with Sean and us, is doing the best they can under those circumstances, and kudos to them. But folks, there's a cliff coming when it comes to the requirements put upon our Sheriff's Department and all of our law enforcement. Don't know where and how soon and how steep and how tall that cliff is, but it's coming. And it's a problem that we're going to have to face here quite soon. Just a little bit of bragging, just so you know, talked about the state, and it's going from 44 billion to 50 billion. That is a 13.5% increase over last year, 13.5%. Our expenditures that you saw on those charts compared to what we had last year, our overall is going up 1.9% in expenditures. Yep. That is pretty darn good, considering what you're experiencing at the grocery stores and how much everything is going up, and our overall expenditures are only going up a little less than 2% from last year, this year's budget projected next year. Pretty proud of that. So thank you, Sean, for all the work you do to make that possible for us.
You bet. Just add a quick thing. I think Mr. Bellis reminded me, we believe there's 41 that we know of unfunded mandates placed on counties.
41.
And some of them are very expensive mandates.
Yes. So, yeah, that's great news. Thanks.
And don't forget, unfunded mandates are illegal according to our state
They
constitution.
are.
Yes, there is, it's actually statute
Statute.
that.
Statutory, yes.
That covers that, but it has been ignored every legislative session for the last 7 years. So anyway, on that happy note, I want to thank my fellow commissioners. It's easy to look at, and Sean, when we do these conservative budgets and we don't have our hair on fire because of falling revenues, it's because of all the good hard work that these two did before I ever got here. So it's nice to be able to sit here on a situation like this and thank them for all the good hard work that they've done long before I ever got here. So it's a good seat to be sitting in. So, in any case, any other questions or comments for Mr. Sutton? Thank you, sir.
It's a public hearing.
It is a public hearing.
Indeed it is.
It is a public hearing for our 2026 draft budget, and I will open it up for anybody that would like to speak in regard to our budget. Don't everybody run up at once.
Is this one that has to stay open?
Going, gone. We will close the public hearing.
Okay.
And that is not an item for action. We will be addressing that in our December 16th meeting for the final approval for the 2026 budget. So we'll probably have to move that to the stadium because of all the people that will be there for that. Just kidding. Back into our new business. Item number 3, secure transportation service license and permit for BS Transport Services LLC. And for this, I will turn to our county attorney, Eric Bellis, for a brief description.
So for our loyal viewers, they can probably, both of them can probably recite the script that I am about to say. But these are for behavioral health transportation, situations where transportation is required, but it does not necessarily require a fully staffed ambulance. In this case, this is for a Class A secure transportation service license. Class A being a service that is authorized to use limited physical restraint, but no chemical restraint, and for a Type 1 vehicle permit, that being a vehicle that does have a safety partition between the driver and the passenger, both for BS Transport Services. The license would be for a period of 3 years, and the vehicle permit for a 2020 Ford Explorer would be for a period of 1 year beginning today.
Okay. Any questions?
Microphone.
Any questions?
Nope.
No questions, Mr. Chair. I do have a motion.
Please.
Actually, I will have 2 motions on this item number 3. So the first is I move to approve a Class A secure transportation service license for BS Transport Services LLC. This license will begin today and will end in 3 years on the 9th of November of 2028.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And the other motion, Mr. Chair, is I move to approve a secure transportation vehicle permit of Type 1 to BS Transport Services LLC. This vehicle is a 2020 Ford Explorer. And this license will be valid for 1 year, starting today and ending on December 9th of 2026.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Couple more items. Item number 4 on our new business, reappointment of Amanda Ellis to the Fremont County Fair Board with a term expiring December 31, 2028.
I'll take this, Mr. Chair. It is the time of year where a lot of appointments to our volunteer committees expire December 31st, so there's a lot of reappointments coming up and then some new ones as well. This one is to reappoint Amanda Ellis, who had served last year as our Fair Board President and actually got elected to that again in their last meeting. So I'm glad she decided to re-up since she was nominated President. But I move to approve Amanda Ellis to the Fremont County Fair Board for a term ending December 31st, 2028.
I'll second.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And last but not least, we have with us in our chambers today several of our county employees who we are honoring today. And we'll be honoring all veterans tomorrow. But we have a proclamation that we would like to read for them. And if your name is called, I would really appreciate if you would stand and remain standing to be recognized. So I will read the proclamation. Whereas the greatest acknowledgement of our freedom is to honor our armed forces veterans who have sacrificed and in many instances paid the ultimate price for our freedom. Whereas in 1919, President Wilson proclaimed November 11 as the first commemoration of Armistice Day, stating, "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of the nations." And whereas Fremont County citizens, along with millions of other citizens, can attest to the importance of veterans' sacrifices for and contributions to our freedom and security, and whereas Fremont County realizes many veterans who gave so much of themselves came home without any recognition and were denied educational and occupational opportunities, and whereas Fremont County recognizes and respects the more than 5,400 veterans who live here for their many contributions, and whereas both men and women of our armed forces continue to be an inspiration to all of us through their demonstration of courage, leadership, and commitment in service to our community and country, and whereas we in Fremont County always will remember and pay respect to our military community, both active and inactive, for their contribution, dedication, and commitment to the cause of our freedom. And whereas Fremont County would like to specifically recognize the veterans who currently serve as Fremont County employees. Lieutenant Cheryl Bauer, U.S. Coast Guard. Specialist Christopher Belfield, U.S. Army. Specialist 5 Lee Cook, U.S. Army. Private Chad Curtis, U.S. Army. Airman First Class Sally Edsel, U.S. Air Force. Seaman John Galley, U.S. Navy. Petty Officer First Class Dwayne Gaiman, U.S. Navy. Captain Keith Grillian, U.S. Army. Sergeant Robert Griswold, U.S. Army. Petty Officer Second Class John Grooms, U.S. Navy. Seaman Recruit Jordan Gunter, U.S. Coast Guard. Staff Sergeant John Keller, U.S. Army. Corporal Ethan Kohler, U.S. Army. Technical Sergeant Andrew Lewis, U.S. Air Force. Private Second Class Luke Lunsford, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Kyle Mahoney, U.S. Air Force. Private Joshua Miller, U.S. Army. Major Joe Moffett, U.S. Army.
Oh. Nothing to see here, let's move on.
Where was I? Sergeant Tony Murillo, U.S. Army. Petty Officer Second Class Alistair Nolan, U.S. Navy. Specialist Lauren Oldham, U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Alan Oliver, U.S. Marine Corps. Sergeant Brett Osborne, U.S. Army. Seaman John Pasco, U.S. Navy. Sergeant Martin Peake, U.S. Marine Corps. Petty Officer Second Class William Podrabow, U.S. Navy. Seaman Brenda Rawl, U.S. Navy. Private First Class Richard Rodenbeck, U.S. Army. Specialist 4 William Schweim, U.S. Army. Sergeant Robert Thamel, U.S. Army. And Staff Sergeant Dale Thresher, U.S. Army. Now therefore, let it be proclaimed by the county commissioners of the Fremont County, Colorado, that in observance of Veterans Day on Tuesday, November 11, 2025, Fremont County proudly joins the rest of our nation to salute and give honor and recognition to the men and women who served us in our armed forces, signed this day by the three of us. Thank you all so much. Let's give ourselves a hand. And I think that is it. Is there anything that you guys would like to add?
To accept this proclamation.
We should probably vote on it, and then we can
Want to make the motion?
make the motions, and then we'll have our comments. Please, I will make the motion. How about that? I move that we approve this proclamation, this Veterans Day proclamation, in recognition of veterans who currently serve in Fremont County, and the proclamation of oh, I thought we had a special, never mind. The acceptance of this proclamation.
Second.
All third.
Yeah.
Before I get myself in any more trouble, please save me and make comments.
Go ahead.
Okay, sure, Mr. Chair. I just want to say thank you so very much to each and every one of you standing in this room, and those of you who were standing and should still be standing. Thank you.
Careful, Joe, careful. Careful.
Veterans hold a very, very special place in my heart, and my grandfathers were veterans, all of my uncles, and I have a lot, my father, my brother, and now my son. And I've seen what it does to them serving, because it does good and it also does some not so good. Everyone brings things home with them. And you are the ones who live with that. And you've done it for your country, which means you've done it for each and every one of us. And so we cannot say a deep enough thank you to all of you for the service that you have provided to the United States of America and to each and every one of us. So I just think, Mr. Chair, we should maybe give them all a day off tomorrow. What do you think?
Done.
Okay. Now, in all seriousness, we are hosting a lunch for all of you after this meeting, as you all know. I also would like to mention, I kind of did the math, and we have almost 10% of Fremont County's workforce is being served by United States veterans. I think that's a pretty amazing number. So truly, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you.
Yeah, same thing, guys. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your service with Fremont County and taking care of business here as well. God bless all of you. And for those that couldn't make it to the meeting today, because they are working, some of them, same to those guys as well, and keep up the good work. And again, thank you all.
And ditto, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service to this country and to us and the security of our country and our freedoms. So thank you, ladies, gentlemen. Roll call.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We're going to take a picture.
Let's do a picture. Can we do a picture with
You
all
guys
of
come
you?
up this way this
Yeah.
time.
Bet you.
You guys are gonna have to squish.
All right, yeah. Let's move out a little bit, maybe taller ones going back. Okay. All right, we gotta squish more, so.
Squish more.
Come on. There you go. Now we're getting it. Okay. Now let us know how to look.
You look fantastic. I'm gonna take a couple just for good measure. All right.
All right, thank you all.
Don't leave, we have lunch for all of you.
And with no more business, we are adjourned.